Wait, are we gonna start screening anytime soon?
Yeah, after this chapter.
But I have to go to work.
This is so good.
Unbelievable.
What's up, Soapsuds? Welcome back to another episode of the Geek Soapbox. I'm your host, Lee Ponton, and I'm joined by my co-host,
Leva Bates!
Yeah! We've had a crazy few weeks. Like, I feel like it's been forever since we've sat here and done an episode.
Actually, yeah, it's been...
Like a month. This feels weird, but it also feels like coming home.
Aww.
Alright, so this week, we thought we'd do an episode about what we're geeking out about right now.
At the second.
At this moment.
What are you geeking over?
Okay, so, obviously, my first thing, let me tell the story of how this happened. Whilst Kelly and I were in the mysterious land of Toronto, Canada, we also visited our friend, Darren. We're just hanging out, and he's like, oh, let's play this game. It was pandemic. I swear to you, the next day, I was on my phone ordering Pandemic from Amazon. I am obsessed with this game. Did you see our last 2 episodes? 2 episodes we devoted to this, and I'm talking about it again for the 3rd time.
And I've come over several times since to play, so...
I am obsessed.
Actually, one last time.
I'm obsessed with Pandemic. If you haven't seen our videos, check it out here. Let me just show you what has happened in the days since we filmed that episode. We played this, but then I went and I had to buy this. And then I had to go, and I had to buy this. I bought 2 expansion packs.
Expect this episode sometime 2015.
I'm obsessed with tabletop games now. Next!
Since you mentioned something that we've discussed before on the show, one of my things I'll discuss is something we've briefly talked about. I don't know if you guys know this. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? Was the official 30th anniversary of Ghostbusters. They re-released it in the theaters. I unfortunately did not make it to the theaters, but I definitely pulled it up on Netflix like twice with a bottle of wine and enjoyed it very much.
It just makes it better.
Sometimes when you go to the theaters, you don't get that bottle of wine, so you're just like...
And if you do, it's expensive.
Woo!
You're at like a fancy theater.
So, I've kind of been getting back into that. I've been, like, kind of doing my own thing with celebrating the anniversary. Well, with Harold Ramis passing, I actually wrestled at an FIP in my girl version of the Ghostbusters outfit. And I had, like, the black armband that said, "You gone?" And that was in memory. I came out with the Twinkie. So that was really cool. And then I've been, like, reading all sorts of stuff online. And there's so much trivia about this movie. I don't know if you know or audience know, but there's like a completely different movie that was supposed to happen. It was supposed to be called like Ghost Smashers, and they were supposed to travel in time and fight big ghosts, but then the director and producer were like, alright, that's gonna cost way too much money to make. Here's Harold Ramis, Dan Aykroyd. You two should talk and write something that makes more sense. So, but initially the first draft was supposed to have John Belushi and Bill Murray's character. John Candy was supposed to be Lewis, who is Rick Moranis. Eddie Murphy was supposed to be Winston. It was supposed to have a bigger role.
Really?
Yeah. I love the whole movie. It still holds up. Like, I just watched it last week, and it completely holds up. It doesn't feel like a 30-year-old movie at all. So good.
Speaking of the 80s,
yay! So
my next thing is sort of 80s related. I'm obsessed with these Motu comics from DC Comics. I've only read the first 2 so far.
2 volumes or 2 comics?
2 volumes.
Okay.
It's so good.
Really?
It is. It's definitely a more serious adult tone, but
he's still wearing his little outfit.
Yeah, but but like, look, he changes outfits at some point, so it's I really like it, and the first volume is good. They did it really smart because they make it accessible for new readers, because I guess basically the plot is that Skeletor has already won, and the world isn't quite what we know, because Adam is like a woodsman and he just lives in the woods somewhere. He doesn't know that he's He-Man. But come to find out, it's because Skeletor's won and he's put like a spell over all of Eternia.
Ah.
So none of the heroes know who they are. All the villains do.
It's kind of like Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, it kind of is. Like, it
That's
really,
so
really
cool.
is. But in that way, like, Adam gets introduced to all the characters, and so new readers do. But those of us who have been longtime Masters of the Universe fans already know. But it also gives us plot twists to see like how people are gonna react to each other, and
yeah.
So
That's
it's a really good read because it's different, but still has the history that we know, just in a different way. Yeah. So I'm really,
so it's very much Once Upon a Time.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh hey.
It's like, oh, it's Snow White. Oh, I know the story of Snow White.
A little different.
Not quite. So that's kind of the same thing here. Oh, I know the story of He-Man. Sort of, but not really.
That's awesome.
So it's a really, really good read. So if you haven't had a chance to, check that out. There's 4 volumes now. Next!
I love video games. Huge video gamer, but the thing is I don't have a lot of time. I have a full-time job. I wrestle on the weekends. I sew my own costume. I'm currently in the middle of working on my website. Got so much going on, and I spend I feel like the entire day at work. So I can't really play video games like I like. So I dusted off this bad boy, my PSP, and no, it's not a Vita because I'm poor. It still works. And I went to storage to look for a costume piece. I always go through video games. I'm like, oh cool, I'm gonna play this, I'm gonna play this. I never got to play this. I never got to play Shin Megami Tensei's Persona. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this. I'm a huge Shin Megami Tensei fan. So I found this, dusted it off, and I found Persona 2 as well. The thing is, it's not just an ordinary RPG. You're adventuring, you're these kids and you're adventuring, but you meet demons. Not only do you fight the demons, you talk to the demons. They can become your friend. They can get pissed off at you and fight you. They can intimidate you, make you happy, you know, that type of stuff just from conversations. In order for the name Persona, what they do, these kids play this game at school, and basically you're trying to find, within you, there's all sorts of different possibilities of a different you, like a different persona inside of you. Because of fate, different things, different decisions we make, there's different versions, possibly, of you. In order to change personas, you have to talk to demons and acquire their power or take their card. And then turning the cards in will give you a different persona that you can use yourself and channel and do different powers.
Oh, cool.
Hopefully I'm explaining this right. It's weird and cool in Japanese. It's very tactical as well. And I don't know, I like the fact that you can talk to the demons. Sometimes it's annoying because you're like, ugh, just give me your cards so I can make new personas. But other times you're like, ooh, see what happens when I hit on them. Because you can hit on them, you can sing to them, you can dance for them, you can philosophize with them, you can be scared of them, because sometimes demons like it when you're scared of them. It's hard to explain. Hopefully you guys are understanding what I'm saying. I'm excited to see what happens, so.
I can't get enough Game of Thrones right now. I just saw the first 3 seasons. Yeah, like in
a month.
Yeah.
Because since you got back from.
Yeah, because I got them in Canada. When we started it, we're so obsessed with it. We started it on our way back. Well, while we were still on vacation, Kelly and I. We wanted to watch it so bad on the plane, and we were like, I don't know, there's a lot of boobs and naked people. And
boobs.
We got on the plane and we were like looking around, we were like, okay, we were on Southwest so we could pick our own seats. We were like, go to the back row, go to the back row. So we went to the back row and sat next to the window so we could like angle the screen of my laptop towards the window for people that are like walking by. That way people aren't like, they're watching porn on the plane. They're watching porn. So anyway, yeah, I love it. It is crazy, and I am having a hard time now knowing that I have to wait to see season 4, and then even longer for season 5.
Who's your house? Who's your favorite character so far?
I love Ned. He's so conflicted, but he's just trying to do what's right.
Yeah.
Like he's doing what's right, but it's not necessarily what's expected of him. His morals keep him from just going along with royal decree or whatever. He's like, no, this isn't right. Yeah. This is not how people should be treated, and this is not what the people deserve.
He, I think, represents what the Starks are.
There's a class system, but I feel like they feel like everyone has worth. Every person has value to their life.
My favorite is Tyrion. He's from a family of assholes. He's the runt. He's the outcast within that family. but he still has to uphold the certain standards of that. But because of how he is, they look down on him, so he's had to work that much harder. And he's become that much smarter and that much sharper and funnier because of it. I love his humor. Sometimes laughs at himself, laughs at the situation, laughs at his family, because he's just like, well, F it. I feel like out of all of them, he is the one that's actually trying to do good. There's heart of a wolf in there somewhere. There's so many good things though. I mean, this could be a whole episode on itself, I think.
We'll do a whole episode on Game of Thrones as soon as we see season 4.
My third thing, initially I was going to go off about what am I obsessed with, Guardians of the Galaxy. Just an update, I am still super obsessed with this movie and probably will go see it at least one more time. I've also become obsessed with something else. Again, which is kind of from another episode we had, an Orlando Nerd Fest. All of the nerdcore rappers and performers. One of them, Richie Branson, which actually ended up on our show, he had a brand new album come out. This brand new album was on Bandcamp and it's free. So I'm like, I'm gonna try this out, download it, love it. I would pay money for this album. Like, I don't know why it's free, Richie Branson. You should charge for this album. It's amazing. The album just came out a couple weeks ago. It's called Otaku Tuesdays 3. Brilliant name. The title by itself just makes me happy. And he raps about anime. Some of these I haven't seen, but the songs are still just brilliant. Because of this album, and I've been pumping in my car every time I drive, the song called Zoldyck Family Values. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, but the song is my favorite song on this album. It's my favorite song of right now. I decided it's on Netflix, so I started watching it. It's Hunter x Hunter. But if you spell it out, it's Hunter x Hunter. The door boy, it follows the journey of Gon, whose dad is a hunter, but left him to be a hunter, so he was raised by his aunt. And he decides, I want to know what the big deal about being a hunter is. So he goes and you have to pass this crazy adventure called the hunter exam. But it's not just like an exam, it's like, alright, we're gonna walk through the swamp, these monsters use deception, and they will kill you. So, watch out. I'm into it, and I want to thank Richard Branson, because I would not have really probably clicked on it on Netflix until this album came out.
I want to do both. I want to hear the album and I want to see the show now. So, you sold me!
Yay!
Did we sell you? Did we sell you on any of this stuff? Let us know in the comments below. What are you obsessed with right now? Sell us on something. As always, hit that like button.
Make sure you share this with all your friends.
Subscribe to the channel. That way you'll be the first to know when new videos go up. Thank you guys. We'll see you next time on the Geek Soapbox. Bye!
Bye!
Oh.